Hi everyone, and welcome to the very first video in November, where I'm going to talk about how to break a bad habit. And I thought this was a good place to start, because if we do not know why we should break a bad habit, we're probably not going to do it. But before I go into that, if you haven't subscribed to my channel on YouTube yet, please do so and help it grow. I can't do it without your help, so I would really much appreciate that. And I also just want to mention that starting very soon is a 30-day no sugar challenge for those of you who want to quit sugar. Or if you want to quit something else, you can obviously apply the same thing to that particular food item, whatever it is. So it's completely free of charge. You can just sign up. I will put the link in the video description, so you can just click that one, sign up, and I will send you an email every day for 30 days starting on the 18th of November. If you're signing up after the 18th of November, no problem, you can still do that, and the emails will come out to you automatically, although I'm going to be ahead of you, but that doesn't really matter. You can still take part. So you can just do that if you want to quit sugar for at least 30 days and see what that feels like. So if we want to change a bad habit, we need a couple of things. We need resilience and we need determination. And in order to have these, we also need to really want the thing that we think we will get if we change this bad habit. If you just want to change a bad habit for the sake of changing a bad habit, like, I don't like when I'm picking my nose in front of the TV, it's not going to be a lot of motivation behind that because you just don't like it. But what is the actual benefit of you not doing it anymore? You need to have a strong reason for why you're doing something. And I know that was a silly example, but that was what I came up with in the moment. So today I want you to focus on what that reason would be. So I'm going to try and help you figure out what your reason is to change this bad habit that you have. So what is it that you really want? What is it that you think that this habit prevents you from getting? And that thing that you want, decide what it is and be very specific. The more specific you can be, the more we can unravel what's in the way from you getting it and what habit you need to change in order to get there. The problem is that often we have two competing desires that are totally incompatible with each other. And that is usually the reason for why we haven't yet changed that habit. So that could, for example, be that I want to quit sugar for health reasons, but I also want to binge on sugar for comfort. So I need to figure out what motivates me to want to quit sugar more than what motivates me to find this comfort in the moment when I'm doing it. The reason that I want to do it has to be stronger than my reason for wanting the comfort in the moment. Otherwise, the comfort in the moment will win every single time. And a lot of the time we don't really think about this and we just end up binging and we don't really know why. So if we don't consciously think about the reason for why we want to stop doing it, the lower brain is going to take over and tell us that binging is a really good idea because it makes us feel good. And we're just going to do it, and we're more or less unconscious when we do it. We just go with it because that's what we feel like doing, and we do get a huge reward from it in the moment, and that's the danger. That's what has put us in this complex situation to start with. So you need to figure out whether you are committed to changing this habit, or if you rather change something else. So let's say I want to stop eating sugar in the evening. Right. What is actually motivating that? Maybe it's not actually the act of eating sugar in the evening that I need to change. Maybe I need to change the habit of wanting to eat in the evening for comfort altogether, for me to go, for me to get to where I want to go. I hope that makes sense. So you need to think about what it is that you want, what the end goal is, so to say, from changing this habit. So that we're not just picking a habit for the sake of picking a habit, and then we can't really motivate it because it doesn't really make sense to it. So we need to always think about what is it that we want in the end of it. What is it that we think that changing this habit will change in our lives? Is it how we feel about ourselves? Is it some sort of external result? What is it? And something that will be very telling if you are committed to it or not is that you ask yourself, so just start with thinking about an organization that you truly despise, one that you wish would just vanish from earth. You really hate them. You think they're evil, you wish they weren't there. What organization is that? Or even person, something that you really don't like. Now, would you be willing to donate $10,000 to this organization or person if you don't succeed in changing your habit? If you instinctively say no, God no, absolutely not, then you probably aren't really committed. Because you are doubting that you are able to do this, and you can see it more likely that you would donate $10,000 to this organization than you actually changing the habit. So $10,000 given away to this evil corporation, whatever it is less motivating than you changing this habit, then you have a problem. You need to find better motivation for changing it. You could think about something like, if you didn't change this habit, your husband, wife, kid, whatever, would get killed. Would that be motivation enough? Of course it would be. That would be motivation enough for everyone, I think, I hope. But we know that that is not the reality. So we need to find a motivation that feels almost as strong, that can override these feelings of, I want comfort in the moment. When we can feel like this cause or this breaking this habit is much more struggling for word. When we feel like this will give us so much more, the reward is so much greater, that's when we can actually go there and do it. But you need to find this reason for yourself. And when you have a reason that is strong enough, you will do it. There's no question about it. You are capable of so much more than you think you are when your reason is strong enough. And so no matter what is happening in your life, you will stay committed to this course. Which isn't the case when you don't have a good reason to do it. So whatever habit it is that you want to change, the reason that you haven't done so yet is because the reason isn't strong enough and your incompatible desire is stronger. So you have those two components. Whether this incompatible desire is that you just avoiding discomfort, maybe you're afraid of something, you're afraid of failure, or you're afraid of being seen, afraid of being vulnerable, you think it's too much hard work. It could be anything behind that. But as long as you have that and that reason is stronger, that's what you're going to keep doing. So when you pick something specific that you want to change, you need to recognize why it is that you have this bad habit. Not just that you have it. Why is it that you have this habit? Dig deep and try to find out what's actually going on underneath, because that's where you have the key to your motivation for keep doing it. So for me, it might be that I like to relax in the evening. maybe watch something on, let's see, excuse my dog, watch something on Netflix or something, and while I'm doing that I want to go to the fridge and have a look for something to eat. I like salami, as many of you actually already know. That is my substitute for eating cake or sugar, and I want to change this habit because in the end of the day I know that eating salami is never because I'm hungry, it is because of comfort. It makes me feel better. And actually, it's totally unnecessary. I should be able to relax and just watch a movie and enjoy that without the salami. And to some extent, I am, but the thoughts are still popping up because I keep entertaining them. I keep giving in and I keep going and getting the salami. But if I can just work through this and stop this habit, basically, I will be fine. It would be a bit uncomfortable to go there, but it's so worth it because I don't want to have this behavior. I don't like eating late at night. I don't like unconscious eating. It's not anything that I want to entertain. It's not very beneficial for me because this is what I've been doing my whole life and I'm trying to get away from that. So I'm gonna have to decide that my brain will only focus on what I have to do in order to change this habit. My brain will tell me that watching Netflix is so much better when you have something to snack on. It will tell me that I need to distract myself with something just because watching Netflix isn't enough. It's not enough of a dopamine hit, so I need that salami on top of that. It's going to tell me that it's unnecessary to go through the discomfort of not having salami because it's so much better than eating sugar, and on and on and on. It's going to tell me all these things. And none of this actually matters if I decide that I'm not going to do it. So if I have decided, I'm no longer eating salami in the evening in front of the TV. Okay. My brain can just be quiet. My brain doesn't have to tell me these things because it's not up for discussion. I already decided. It really is that simple in theory, but then the voices are going to come up anyway. But we just have to decide, this is what we do, changing this habit, and this is what I'm going to do instead. So I'm going to commit to watching Netflix, feel a bit uncomfortable, and keep doing it and just enjoy watching the movie. That is my commitment. That is what I will be doing to change this habit. So, what is my reason for doing so? Is it a good enough reason? Maybe, maybe not. That's up for you to decide whether you have a good enough reason. And if you keep failing, you know that the reason isn't good enough. And it's important that you do have a good enough reason because your lower brain will keep to prove you wrong. It will keep continuing to tell you to, or tell me in this case maybe, to keep eating the salami because it's a much better idea and we feel so much better and it's actually not causing any harm. But I know better, so I'm not going to listen to that. So I'm afraid that I can't help you finding your reason. So that is what you will have to do for yourself. And whatever it is, you must really feel that reason. It must feel compelling to you, as in something that you really feel strongly about. And also you must be willing to be uncomfortable because all change is uncomfortable. If you're not willing to be uncomfortable, how far you get is just a result of how much willpower you have and how resilient to uncomfortableness you are, if that is even a word. Some people cannot take much discomfort at all. Those types of people are usually distracting themselves with Facebook, YouTube, food, drinks, drugs, gambling, whatever it is. That's what we do because we want to escape feeling uncomfortable. People that have a high tolerance to feeling uncomfortable are those people that actually achieve things. And this doesn't come natural to all of us, and we're all on a scale from very little capability of handling discomfort to very high. And we just have to be conscious of this and teach ourselves that it's actually okay to be uncomfortable, because it's not something that is meant to come natural to us. We're actually designed to avoid it. That's how we survive. But in this society that we live in today, it is not a very useful thing for our evolution, especially not if we want to grow as people. We can be hedonists, all of us, and just sit at home and eat ice cream and pizza and watch TV all day. If that is the kind of life that you want, fine, that's up to you. You can decide. But that's not the kind of life that I want. And I want to keep improving, and I want to change my bad habits. And I suspect that you want to do that as well, otherwise you wouldn't be watching this. So don't give up, no matter how many times you fail. The only time you truly fail is if you give up after your last failure. If you keep trying, you still work in progress, and you will get there at some point. So this month I'm experimenting a little bit, and I said I wasn't going to talk so much, but I have actually already been talking for 15-16 minutes. So this month I'm going to experiment, and I'm going to prepare some worksheets for you to fill in and see how you like that and if that's something that is useful to you. So I'm going to post the links to these worksheets in the appropriate video description to the video. If you're a member of my free membership site, you can go to the November tab and look up the video in there, and under the video there will also be a link to this worksheet. If you're not, you can just go, and I'll put the link in the video description. As I said, you just click that and you put your email address in, and you will be able to download it from there. So I recommend that you do this work and go through everything. Once you're done, you just go through everything once again, have a look at it to make sure that that's actually somewhat accurate. It might not be easy, you might not be finished filling it in, as in having a complete filled in worksheet straight away, and that's fine. You can come back tomorrow and finish it and think a little bit more about it, because in the end of the day, it's not always easy to find this motivation for doing something, or your strong reason. And then you can revisit this tomorrow, the day after, and every single day that you need to stay committed to changing this habit. Because sometimes we want to forget what our reason is, and we use that as an excuse. So when you're in doubt, just go and have a look at your worksheet, or just bring it up in your mind and see what your reason actually is, and just revisiting it and think about it. If it's strong enough, it should be able to keep you motivated. So enjoy that. Please let me know how you're getting on. I'll see you again next week. Bye.